All right. Carrying on with the doll project, I had to recover some foam, clean it. I'll say this, the best thing to clean foam, if it's a little dirty, if you got a little bit of mold, like in here you can see the residual marks from where there was mold. It's dead now, don't worry. Best bet to do that is ammonia and soap. And the easiest way to do ammonia and soap is hose everything down with Windex, make sure it's squeezed right in there, wait for it to dry, which these have now done. So between these, for smaller pieces and build up on structure, and these two larger cushions, I traced out a rough body form here. I'm going to take a knife, do cutting vertically at 90 degrees down to get that rough outline. Then we're going to build on top of it. And build it up vertically. We're going to cut it out where it needs to be cut out to make the silhouette, the side silhouette, this being the front silhouette. That's where it's going to cut off. That's the joint. Could be a little higher up, but I'm going to cut it off here. I can cut it off higher if I need it for the joint. Legs are going to come out of the lower half, the other cushion here. As necessary, I'll be spray gluing the pieces of foam together, but let's get cutting and see what happens. As you can see, this stuff cuts really easy, which is a good thing. Makes life simpler. Just got to make sure you have a lot of spare blades because they dull really quickly while you're doing this. You can tell the blade's not quite long enough to cut all the way to the bottom edge there, but we're getting good progress on it. Not exactly exciting. But we now have a chunk of the body, or at least a rough silhouette. That's the beginning. And the next step is to build out the side silhouette, the front and back. So its front's gonna have to go a little further this way up here, down below the hips. Back's gonna have to go a little this way out here. Luckily, we got lots of extra material to work with. So sculpting will be the next portion after I get all the main pieces cut. Next one is his leg. Once I get all the pieces cut out, I'll show you what they look like laid out together. Okay. So we have all the major pieces cut. Other than the head, but the head's going to be a completely different process all on its own. But we've got one silhouette Everything is larger and longer than it has to be by the end. She's already, even without her head, sitting at 5'7". She's going to have to drop down without her head and her feet. But that's all going to disappear with the joints. So are going to be cut, shaped, pulled in, pulled up. Hip joints are going to be interesting because they're going to be cut from both sides, curved and shaped down. Arms as well, everything's going to be shorter. Hands, I got to find a silhouette of a hand cut out and make a glove to fit it when I build the skin. Also, I have to do the side silhouette. That don't look like a person. So the next step's going to be side silhouette on everything. And then, once I get the proper shape, putting the skeleton in. The head's actually going to be the last thing before we put the skin on. So, anyway, there's the completed step 1 of the life-size doll. So, we'll talk to you next time.